Hi again, everybody. As a follow-up to the video reviewing the Adiant mobile smartwatch personal locator, I just wanted to put some clarifications that I might have perhaps garbled in the first video. So let me just open it up again. It's the same exact model that I showed in the first video, which this will be appended to, so you should be able to see them in logical sequence. So this, like most electronics, of course, is not meant to be, used while diving into the Atlantic and, scuba diving. It's very, to a very degree, water resistant, but it is not, like I said, submersible. So I apologize if I spoke in the first video. It's important to know my friends at Adiant Mobile, and the company can be found, and this watch, like I said in the first video, at their website, www.adiantmobile.com, ADIANT mobile.com. But it's important to note that the teams are heavily vested into the research and development generation that will allow total submersion, which I believe is the IP67 electrical certification benchmark that it would meet. I was basically just rating this because it seems, it's so well made. You'll see when you get it that I presumed, just from experience, I guess, of product engineering and development, that this was indeed already IP67 graded, but it's in process. Because obviously, if you figure you're going to be giving this maybe to an elderly relative, you don't really want them taking it off, say, even stepping into the shower, etc. Let's see. You could also buy the ELM model. This is, of course, the NT watch. Excuse me. I'm sorry, the MX-LOCARE NT model. But you could buy the ELM model. This is the device that does not have a locking mechanism, which more or less prevents a special child or even somebody like with fairly standard fragility of the hands. Everything can be breached with certain, but this prevents it from. So the ELM model allows a lock to be included in the band that you'll see from the website on the accessories page, Adiant Mobile, that prevents it basically from being detached from the user, the wearer. This NT model does not have voice capability, so excuse me, I spoke about that one as well. You'll notice again, like I said, when you consult the website, that the watch band is probably the most noticeable difference, visually different attribute of the two models. This doesn't currently, without modification of service plan, which you can facilitate by talking to the very people at Adiant, have the voice capacity, but it is workable. And actually, I'm sorry, I didn't get to this probably in the right order, but the locking mechanism can be purchased. So it's included on the ELM model, but it can be purchased for this, which is what I thought, from the accessories page. It's just not included by default, so fair enough. It's important to mention that this watch, I think it's a good thing, I guess, because guys certainly, I wouldn't be wearing a pink watch, with all due respect to the political correctness of current trends. But I like that this watch is heavy, as I said in the first video. It certainly gives it a feel of durability, and construction and engineering. But even and it isn't that heavy. To me, it's still smaller than the watch I would tend to wear. But at 64 grams with battery, which is not removable, I don't believe. But you can see the charging console right here. I think I pointed out in the first video. There you go, for the zooming issue. But this is the this is the lightest on the market. So it's important to note that, if this is big, and it isn't, it's totally wearable. The others are even bigger. It's also one of the, I think, best values for spend, at $129, I believe, not to mention the very inexpensive and reasonable monthly service plan of $29, I believe. My friends at Adiant can correct me because I'm speaking now without looking at the actual service plan when I was for it, for my grandmother, but that pales in comparison. You would pay for something, say, like the medic alert, as seen on TV at night, advertised early morning, advertised infomercials for specifically elderly, who fall, basically wear those extremely awful, not very aesthetic, as my grandmother might say, neck lanyards that, I think sometimes can be more of a hazard. The elderly falls and trips and potentially strangles himself, or just simply forgets to put it on their neck, then it's worth, but each has their own, obviously, pros and cons. So finally, let's just cover for that slight disruption in the video sequence. I got a call at the same time. I was filming literally the last 30 seconds of this. In the first video, I think I was also talking about the ability of the administrator, the family member, the patient care provider, whatever, to listen to this device. It allows that person to indeed do that, which I think is one of the best features. Because say the person is incapacitated, somebody's, you need to be able to maybe check on them without needing them to press the answer button, the receive button, etc., like you normally do on a mobile phone. And it of course that has that voice capability, and basically create a very strong infrastructure of support, in emergency situations where you can't physically be there, at least immediately, with your patient, your staff member, or your loved one, as in the case of my grandmother. And it's important to note, again, you'll see a service plan, and it's more than plenty, because obviously how many people have multiple emergencies on a monthly basis, but you're allotted 15 minutes per month for the voice function if you activate this device with that service plan and the additional voice capability. So ask any questions on their Facebook page, YouTube page. I know they're visiting very actively thanks to their collaboration on this this amazing piece of kit. It is, I think, one of the most well-built, most straightforward, most user-friendly. Even my grandmother attested to that. I'm going to give this back to her, put it back on her wrist as soon as I talk to Adiant actually about some increased coverage for her, because she can disappear for her grandmother. I swear my back, and she's like Flash Gordon in a supermarket when we're shopping. But nonetheless, I recommend looking at it. It's only better, as most technology does, but these guys, I can't tell you how gracious they've been over the last couple of weeks, helping me build together a recipe for dealing with these folks. So thanks again, and hopefully speak to you soon.